Oh, how can I help you? A letter from the castle has come to you via the guild. It simply says to report to the castle in all haste.
You're back.
You assume that the letter was sent by the Prime Minister. Perhaps he has another request for you. Count Dean is waiting for you at the throne room. It is he who sent the letter. After your previous encounter, you can only assume that he's up to something nefarious. You brace for combat. The guards have drawn their swords and are blocking the exit. Count Dean starts talking to you in a soft voice. He says that he has personally requested your assistance in performing a task for him. He wants you to scout Bilberon Fortress on the border. This underground fortress is a well-known structure. Originally built to defend against the Orc army, it now lies in Orc hands. Scout them and learn their invasion routes. It is a very dangerous mission, but refusal means that you will be at the mercy of Dean's guards. You accept. Per Count Dean's request, you agreed to infiltrate and surveil the subterranean fortress at the country's border. The Orc army presently controls Bilberon, the underground fortress built into the canyon. The King's army has been mounting a fierce offensive to try and reclaim the fortress. You step into the enemy kitchen. A corpulent chef grabs a goblin instead of meat and suddenly stops. The cook, sensing your presence, stares directly at you. Luckily, her sight's not so keen, so she doesn't notice you. Eventually, the chef returns to her meat cutting. You use the goblin's screams to mask your escape.
They're here!
It's my turn.
They're here.
Outstanding. I got it. Oh, yeah.
An ambush!
At the bottom of the stairs is an area connected to the sewers. This seems your most likely escape route. After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth. The reconnaissance mission went well. You gathered intel and slipped back across enemy lines. Among the treasures you claimed is the great sword of the... You succeeded in acquiring intel on the underground fortress. This job will be completed once you report to Count Dean.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead. Allow this heart to beat. Allow this heart. Allow this heart. Allow this heart. As you leave the temple, a ragged old man slumped in the road calls out to you in a gravelly voice. His raspy voice makes it difficult for you to discern if he's even speaking your language. You can give him a coin if you feel pity for him. He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. You probably won't be able to communicate with him. You report everything you learned to Count Dean. Naturally, he demands the great sword, but at least he's in a good mood now. It seems that he thinks much more highly of you now. Once the king went missing, the Prime Minister began recommending the Archduke MacNeil of Bulgar is an aggressive nation to the north. MacNeil is related to the King of Hydeland, and Count Dean claims that MacNeil has been rallying nobles in Hydeland to support his claim to the throne. That's why Dean hired Tommet to steal the scepter. He says that Tommet is extremely trustworthy. Suddenly, the Prime Minister and the Princess appear. The Prime Minister warns you not to involve yourself any further. Since you completed the job at the castle, you return to the Adventurers Guild to tell them what transpired. Roland also happens to be here to report on a job. However, Roland thinks that he just missed him and asks... You look for Samuel, the guildmaster. He should be somewhere in town.
Welcome to my shop.
Oh, how can I help you?
Welcome to... What would you like?
Wandering one, how can I help?
As you leave the temple, a ragged old man, his raspy voice makes it You can give him a coin if you feel... He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. You probably won't be able to communicate. You recall what happened at the... You report everything you learned to... Naturally, he demands the... It seems that he thinks much... Once the king went Bulgar, it count... That's why, suddenly, the prime minister... When you tell him that you can't find Samuel, he tells you to check the temple. Samuel...
Did you find him?
Wandering one.
You stand before the goddess statues. Jula. Texts say the goddesses sacrificed themselves to defeat a dragon. Althena, the one in the center, is the goddess of compassion. If your party falls during your adventure, a prayer. If you are repeatedly depending on her grace, the amount you must offer for her services will continually increase. A giant man in armor finishes his prayers and turns around. His pensive expression quickly turns fierce as he sees you. He tells you that he was praying because he has sent many friends to look for the king, but they haven't found the slightest clue. When you ask to help, Samuel just nods and in a remote region, marriageable girls are disappearing. One As you leave the temple, a ragged old man slumped in the road calls out to you in a gravelly voice. His raspy voice makes it difficult for you to discern if he's even speaking your language. You can give him a coin if you feel pity for him. He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. You probably won't be able to communicate with him. To solve the mystery of the disappearances, you head to the catacombs, where the villagers fear to tread. In the catacombs, stark white bones are strewn about the ground as far as the eye can see. The sheer number of the deceased is the only indication left of this area's former prosperity.
It's my turn. Done.
A strange knight stumbles out of the darkness towards you. You surmise that he is not of this world. The knight is muttering to himself, as if in a daze. If I end my own life, they can no longer sacrifice me. When you move closer, the knight extends his hand. He's holding a scroll. When you accept it, the knight disappears. The path ahead of you is connected to the ruins of the castle colloquially called the Castle of the Dead. In olden times, whenever a girl disappeared, the locals would say she'd been called to the Castle of the Dead. Because ghosts are incorporeal, they are completely immune to physical attacks. Their weakness is light. Torchlight will drive them off.
What?
Let's see. Voila!
Be careful! An ambush!
The kidnapped girls had been turned. They are now vampires, attacking other people. You utter a silent prayer, hoping that you have slain the last vampire, and leave the ruins. In your hands is the bloody scroll that the Ghost Knight... You have unraveled the mystery of the village girls' disappearances. Obtain your reward at the guild. You are curious about the bloody scroll. After examining the scroll, the signature and other details indicate that it is a letter from the... It is a report telling her that he had obtained the dragon's... You can't deny that the ghost was clad in mail that was eerily similar to the king. The king's death will profoundly affect the kingdom and neighboring lands.
You're back. You have a request. Stop!
Immediately, you are overwhelmed by guards and this is a common fate for people who hold a royal secret. After a few days, the cell door opens. He unshackles your ankles and explains the situation to you. As expected, Gustav was working for Bolga. He used a magical necklace to control the princess and influence Heidland. Once Dean got Princess Vivian to safety and confronted the Prime Minister, Gustav fled with a ship full of treasure. The princess apologizes for involving you in this. While she was a hostage, Dean couldn't confront the Prime Minister. This kingdom needs a new ruler immediately. Dean is no saint, but he would make a good leader, you think. However, when Gustav fled, he also stole the royal orb, another treasure that represents the right to rule Heidland. If McNeil gets the orb, it will likely result in civil war. However, the orb Princess Vivian asks for your help with this incident. Gustav's ship chose a pirate route, likely to elude captors. Perhaps his artifice was... To get the orb back, you travel to Ghost Ship Cove, a known pirate hideout. The inside of the cave connects to a fissure on the coastline. It seems large enough to contain another ocean. Sailors dread passing through this area. There are myriad tales of ships disappearing here.
Be careful!
Outstanding.
Be careful!
A beautiful voice in the sea calls out to you. You'd heard of Mermaid's legendary curiosity. From your conversation, you learned Gustav's ship was in... According to the Mermaid, the pirates scattered throughout the islands used this area as a hub for trade amongst themselves. Rumors claim that among their treasures is a magic lamp that can call forth a genie.
Enemies!
They were being duplicitous. It was all a ruse. The pirates were spying on you the entire time.
Oh, I can do that.
here!
You've waltzed right into the pirates' den. They're coming to attack you. The pirates have the magic lamp. Your situation will turn quite dire if you don't take it from them. You have summoned forth a genie. Don't let them take the lamp. The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands.
See you next time.
The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands.
See you next time.
The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The pirate has called called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands.
See you next time.
The pirate has called the genie out. Quick, get the lamp out of the pirate's hands. The magic lamp granted a wish and flew off. You find the orb stolen by the Prime Minister among the treasure the pirates left behind. You reclaim the stolen royal orb. The orb you retrieved must be returned to the castle.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow this. Allow this. Allow this. Allow this.
May they rest in peace.
As you leave the temple, a ragged, his raspy voice makes it. You can give him a coin if you. He doesn't even acknowledge. You probably won't be able to communicate. The princess and count can't contain their surprise. They'd already resigned themselves to the worst possible outcome. You've won a great deal of favor from the royal family. The princess smiles upon you, and Dean trusts you implicitly. The succession imbroglio has been dealt with. Once the king is buried and Parliament approves, Dean will succeed the king. Still, the future king wears a somber expression. He knows Hydaelyn still faces many difficult challenges. The Shinyak Orc tribe is pushing in from the east, and more tribes are joining their ranks. They're an ever-present menace. Also, while Hydaelyn is currently at peace, Bulgur will surely strike if they sense an advantage. Worse still, the evil enchanters of the Mornion religion have cast their lot with the Bulgun threat. You are beginning to grasp why the last king of Hydaelyn risked his life to find the dragon's crown. I need it, Dean mumbles quietly. After completing a large task, you return to a normal routine, fulfilling requests on behalf of the Adventurers Guild. Whilst reviewing the outstanding requests at the guild, you spot one from the magician, Lucane. It is about rune magic, but since you don't know too much about the subject, you're not sure what is requested. You tell the guildmaster Samuel that you'll accept this job, and pay Lucane a visit to inquire about the details.
You're back. You have a request.
You entered Lucane's tower to ask about his request. When you tell him that you have taken on his request, he immediately starts filling you in on the details. Certain Elysian ruins are highly regarded as a sacred area by monks. Unfortunately, monsters are desecrating these ruins. Monks were dispatched to purify the area, but the golems that used to protect the ruins have turned on the monks. Golems are controlled with rune magic. They asked Lucane to craft new golems with runes to pit against the old golems. So Lucane requested that someone go in his stead and use rune magic to craft golems. Lucane says that he would be delighted to discuss this and launches headlong into a discussion about runes. Runes are magical letters that spirits and fairies carved into the world. You may have seen them yourself. Touching runes makes letters sparkle and float. Runes are a combination of 3 characters that create various effects. However, runes won't work unless a spirit or fairy is present. That's what you gather from Lucane's long lecture. Lucane hands you a stone that has a rune carved into it. Activate the 2 runes on the statue, then add the stone's rune to cast the 3-letter spell that animates it. You press forward and begin looking for runes.
Oh, how can I help you?
You head to the ancient temple ruins at Lucane's behest. There, you need to animate statues using rune magic.
Welcome to my shop. What would you like?